Wow, that was quick. I love how fast it is now.
Yep, it doesn't take much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, episode 120. You ready to kick this off? Stories are light, but we know that we've got a few big things to hit, so I guess we can talk about them.
I can't wait to hear what they are. Let's go.
Okay, that's right. We've got we've got some E3 news and stuff. Like we'll aggregate with the fans. Also,
E3 snooze.
E3 snooze and all that wonderful Outrider news.
Dude, it's a great game. I don't understand why people aren't talking about it. What is?
It's because they couldn't log in.
Come on! I have had whatever. Let's go.
I know.
Let's roll the credits.
Let's go. Let's roll the credits. Welcome to Mid-Geek Christ, episode 120. My name is Joe, the Afro Man, and my partner in crime,
Pedro, cautious online. There we go.
Look, we got names there. Oh, once every 15 episodes, I remember I have that button.
It's like my government name too. That's amazing. Got that up there.
Look at that.
Hey, Rolls and Pergamene. Dan Camp Music, thanks for jumping on, folks. Appreciate you jumping on.
Hey,
got some stuff to talk about today.
How was the Easter holiday?
It was great. We did our annual egg hunt. We did some fun stuff. My kiddo had a great time. I had a great week actually. I was on vacation all week.
So tell me about it. I figured you'd get some good gaming in. Some good like.
Well, I'm on vacation, but the kid's on vacation too. So what games am I playing really, right? No, we beat Eichenfeld together, which was a lot of fun, right? That happened. You saw that up there. We're a good way through Undertale, which I wish I had read about before I played, because it's I'm like 2/3 of the way through, and I've paid 90% of it pacifist, which I didn't realize you could do when I first started playing, right? So I'm a little sad that I might have to play it over to do a pacifist run.
Yeah, there's a couple of pacifist runs where you could make friends with everything.
Yeah, well, you at least don't kill anything.
Yeah, you don't kill
a wild way to play. The game's pretty old. Thanks for jumping on, name. That's what I did. I also played a little Empire Sin, and of course, like everyone else in the world, I failed to log into Outriders, right? No,
So we were talking for the show just a couple minutes because I got in late. I had to reboot webcam. Decided to update a driver like once every blue. I don't know what the deal was, but
sure.
And so you were telling me that you had no problems.
No, I did launch day, and I mean maybe I'm just an old man, but trying to play an online only game launch day is always an exercise in frustration, right? But since launch day, it's been a lot better. So yeah, Pergamene and I actually got to play together on launch day for a little bit, right? So, or the day after launch day, which was a lot of fun. And I realized the potential of this game is enormous in multiplayer. But yeah, I think they've gotten better. They stopped with crossplay. They got rid of crossplay because they realized that was part of the reason why everyone was dropping.
Really? So that's interesting because that's like, I would have thought, oh, hey, let's share the load of the game. But apparently, so the crossplay is what was killing it for now.
Yeah, I guess it's not sharing the load. I guess it's peer to peer, and the way they had crossplay set up, you could wind up playing with someone in Europe, so the lag would crush you, right? So there was weird. I don't know. I didn't read about the technical stuff because I tend to play solo anyway, so it worked out fine for me. I log in, I play. I am super enjoying it. Once I kind of got an idea of how they want me to actually play, right? They give you cover, but you're not supposed to use it. The cover's for the enemies, and it does not save them. You are. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for folks who haven't played, but if you want the visceral feeling of being a god on the battlefield, this game is at level 1.
Really?
Yeah, it's dope. There's a lot going on.
I'm excited for it. I mean,
the customization. I'm about 10 levels in, and there is a lot to think about to do the plan and customize the way you just crush your enemies. It's a blast.
Yeah, so that's what I felt. I saw some gameplay footage. I downloaded it. I traveled this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to. First time we saw our family. First time the family got to see each other in over a year and a half.
Yeah, I saw you. You all did some like Easter eggs too, right? Crashing them over your head.
Crashing eggs. We did the cascarones. If you're familiar with
that's right, cascarones. I was like, what is the name for it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because unlike a lot of folks, not all Hispanics share the same traditions, right? So like, I don't know about
the more you know, the more you know.
Exactly.
I'm of Mexican descent, so we do the cascarones where they take the. My family used to save like they when my mom would cook eggs, she'd like cut the top half off or crack a hole in them, and for like months at a time. So like in the garage in the corner, we would have like this giant like wall of eggshells. And then, a couple days, 2-3 days before Easter, we'd go through the process of like dyeing them. We'd dye all of the empty shells.
So like real eggshells. That's amazing.
The eggshells, and then you'd fill them. You'd sit there and like fill them with like pinches of like confetti, and then you'd take Elmer's glue and tissue paper and seal up the hole, and then you'd put it back in the cart. So you're like creating this ammunition. And so like by the end of it, you'd have cousins or family or friends or a party or whatever, and you just like bring out the armory.
I agree, Rose. That's pretty awesome, right? So
and then the
3 weeks just like loading up the weapons.
You just sort of it's nothing like seeing like abuela eating her like taco and like an eggshell shattered and like confetti. It's great.
Nowadays, you just buy them pre-made at the store, right?
Yeah. So now that's the nice part is I guess a good Latin entrepreneur was like, So there's like a couple Latin companies down here in Texas that you go to like the Kroger or the Randall's or whatever and buy them, and they're like, $1.50 per 12 pack or whatever. So like, yeah, it costs more than probably a dozen eggs or so, but at the same time, you're like, you don't have to go through the fact of like shelling them.
What price the memories of creating your own ammunition?
I get it, and we would probably still do that. Yeah. We would probably still do that if we had the time, but like we just didn't. So,
with enough visiting your family, yeah, sure.
Although we have purchased enough over the years that we've always had like 1 or 2 left over. So we actually had 3 cartons left over from last year that we brought with us.
You brought your own ammunition.
So we brought like 3 dozen eggs. So yeah, it was great. So my kiddos, my 2 kids, just went in the backyard and just like
that's awesome.
Confetti just all goes into the grass and it just like dissolves and whatever.
Just disappears. Rabbits eat it. It's
rabbits eat it. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Meanwhile, in the Bronx, right? We just threw actual eggs at each other. Is what we did. Are you drinking? Black cherry polar.
I am drinking. So I have to say they started.
Brought to you by Polar Seltzer Water.
Yeah, this started showing up here in Texas recently.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I was like, Polar. I mean, like if you're not familiar, this is a brand from up in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
It's a seltzer water. It's a good seltzer water. Good flavor.
I'm glad we finally brought seltzer water to Texas. That's very exciting. I think Texas was a place.
We just drank Natty Light.
My bro-in-law loves Easter egg hunts. All the ants, rotten eggs found weeks later. When the rotten eggs, like real eggs. That's
well, I mean, so
all right. When the lawn gets mowed, okay.
That goes to show the opposite side. So because we are a multicultural family, my side of the family is the Latino family, the Latino side, and my wife's side is the more American, side. So they do dye the actual boiled eggs, and they go and put those for hunt, and then they hunt them, and they find them, and then they fill up the carton, and then at that point they then turn that into deviled eggs.
Yeah, the deviled eggs is the best part of Easter for the record. Right. That's the best part of non-Hispanic Easter.
Non-Hispanic Easter. Sure.
Deviled eggs. Which is always great. I'm like, all right, so on Easter, the day that Jesus rose from the dead, we're going to make deviled eggs? All right, I like this. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I get it.
Let's do it.
I'm all for this.
That's good stuff. Let us know how you play games.
I don't do that. I don't do this seltzer beer. I always thought, like, I find it interesting that seltzer, like Bud Light, makes it seltzer beer. Is it Bud Light already seltzer?
Burn on Bud Light.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's barely beer. It's like, what is it, 2%?
No,
I think the hard
is like 6 or 7. It's almost a Malta, right? Which we drank when we were 12, right? It's almost a Malta.
Almost a Malta, that's for sure. Oh man,
like a White Claw. Is that what you're talking about? Like a White Claw, the seltzer beer.
Yeah, so those White Claws are actually heavier alcohol content than normal beer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
weird.
How are they not just a Zima though? That's what I don't get.
Bud
Light Seltzer, so that
it's got realize,
that going for it. Bud Light Seltzer, yep, it's got that going.
The only Bud Light I like, I put that in big hard quotes, is I went to a party once and they had Bud Light Lime, and I was like, this is tasty when it's ice cold. Don't let it get warm though, because then it doesn't taste good.
Every time I've ever had a Bud Light Lime, though, I've always wanted like a Corona with lime, like
right.
another. Just like,
that's all it is.
The other more authentic experience.
Absolutely, Rudy. Nothing. You walk downstairs or walk around the corner from the kitchen. The kids are starting to dye the eggs, the little ones, because they're like, smells like vinegar. Yeah, but Easter eggs.
They're making the eggs. And here's Zima had more flavor. Yes. All right. Yes. No, it didn't.
That's also true.
That is a life hack, Dan, when drinking Bud Lights, right? That's the life hack. Make it so cold you barely taste it. So Outriders is great.
Gina's got it. In the Hispanic community, we put flour and condiments in our eggs. So look at this. Those are the prank ones, right? So she's absolutely right.
Oh, so you get that's right.
So you got confetti. So you think all of them are confetti, and then one in like a dozen or two in a dozen, you have like full of flour. So just like powder everywhere, or fill them with like ketchup or hot sauce or something.
So you get like the uncle with it in the face.
Oh yeah.
A time when family exact revenge on each other. Why not?
I have to say, I think everyone has wonderful traditions. I will say Latinos really do Easter well. When they all get together, they do the barbecue, they do the egg hunts, they do the cascarones. They just but nothing says Easter and bringing family together like an all-out family war with.
That's great. It's phenomenal. I'm jealous of that experience. I'm going to have to culturally appropriate it, if you will. Take advantage of it.
Look at this guy, Dan. Says Sobe again.
Yeah, Pergamene was comparing Sobe to Zima, which cracked me the heck up. Right, Zima was the Sobe of malt beverages. Yes,
it is. Oh God, I think I've got a tooth back here that still hurts from Zima and what is it? Smirnoff Ice.
Why? Oh, you lost a bet. That's exactly. You lost a bet.
Oh God, all those sugary beers from like the late 90s. Early aughts. Oh.
I'm not a fan of any sugary beers. We'll leave that to our friends.
I think we had we used to have a producer that was into that into that sugary stuff.
He's got a lot in his life right now. Our invisible producer, he likes the sugary drinks. It's always funny because he brings beers over to my house and he's the only one that drinks them. Right?
Astronaut, if you didn't know, Four Loko is back. They just had to drop that alcohol content because it was like it was mildly close to PCP in a can. If I remember correctly,
it's like energy drinks for adults. That's right, Four Loko with the booze. Yeah, washable pay. That's like the Nintendo game, right? Where you're actually
it's like Splatoon. You're just like
Splatoon.
That actually, I would love to be like. I would love to go to a party where they do that now, just to have like the slow-mo on my iPhone, just to like turn it on and just see someone get nailed in the face with a washable paint like eggs.
You can reenact that anytime you want, Joe.
I know, right?
Two kids who would love to watch that video of themselves getting hit with paint.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is a road to millions, right? That's what you're doing.
Road to millions. Oh man, it was a good 4-day weekend for me. I took a couple of days off at work. Although I was exhausted after it because we drove from Dallas down to Houston and back, so it's 5 hours 6 hours, right, with the kid and the stop and the dogs and whatever. So 6 hours one way, 6 hours back, and
never left the state. It's amazing.
Never left the state.
Never left the state.
No. We drove through the meaty center part of the state. We were never close to a border. We still were at least 2 hours away, either way, away from the border.
But somehow you found time to beat yet another Mario game.
I did. I was sitting on the couch. I sat on the couch and I'm like.
So for those tuning in, we've got a resolution this year to beat 52 games in 52 weeks. And Mario. It's Mario.
No, I like the way. However you say it is the correct way to say it. Absolutely.
And Joe's up to 12 out of 52. I'm on 13 of 52, and I think 7 of Joe's 12 are Mario. They're Mario games.
I ran through all of the different Mario games, and sure enough,
how many Mario games we're looking at here.
I don't know. I've lost track, but for those that wanted to see the post here,
Yep.
So this was 12 of 52. Let's.
He's got a post from before that's something to the effect of like, I think I might be married out, having played 5 of them in a row and just beating them all in a row, and then one more. I think Nintendo might have something to do with this Mario guy for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I went through and I sat down. What was nice is
there was a question. What is that handheld? What is that?
Well, that is. I don't even have it on me. I left it on my site. It is called a Ambernick. It's an Ambernick 351. I will show the link. I will make sure to share links. 351. So Ambernick 351. Oh, let's go to this link over here, and then we shall close that.
Yeah. So Rolls wants to know, was it more or less or equally enjoyable playing it on there as compared to NES?
So it's a little bit more. So, and I'm gonna explain why. So
Rudy, I have not beat Clash of Demon Head. Is asking anyone here beat Clash of Demon Head? I have not beat that one. Not even on the list of games to play. Do you recommend it?
Clash on Demon Head is a great old NES game. Fantastic. If you're into the old River City Ransom and a lot of those style games, like the old Double Dragon, they're all done by the
old brawlers.
Group. Yeah. So Clash at Demon Head is definitely one of them. So this is the
spot here because he's going to put me on the spot later. Here we go.
So this one right here is the 351M, and this is the P version is what they call it, which is plastic. It's a little cheaper, but this company right here is it's a Chinese company, but they actually make really good high quality products. Like the one that I showed there is all metal, and it's a fantastic little product. It has a great little processor built into it, and yeah. Oh, your camera's all weirded out. Why is that?
What do you mean? I'm right here. I look fine.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
It was in your screen. Good. All right. Technical difficulties all day long.
All right. So yes, the Ambernick 351M. It's a fantastic little handheld. It runs like a open source version of Linux. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about a lot of handhelds that run open source.
Just for the record.
He looks fine. Yes, you look fine. I don't know what it was. You were all zoomed.
They're all complimenting me. I just want to make that.
I can see your forehead like this.
Came in real close. I got it. All right.
But what's great about that, and why someone asked, was it better playing on an NES or whatever? No, did it not come? So mine's a little customized. There's a couple skins you can buy online. A maker makes skins for it. I added the Nintendo logo around it. And
Joe doesn't have anything he hasn't somehow customized to his liking.
That's right. So I wanted to make it my own. But what was great about that is it's Wi-Fi connected, and it runs RetroArch, so it's an open source emulation kind of suite. But what's great about it is you can sign in. There's a great site called retroachievements.com. You create an account on there, and essentially, once you create the account, you then sign in with your account credentials in RetroArch, and RetroArch will then scan all of the ROMs that you've added to the emulator, and it'll add a little like star or a crown next to the game list, telling you, hey, this game has got achievements. Like this game, the game has like the file size matches the file size that someone else has done, and they've created achievements for it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Sure enough, you then create a profile, and as you're playing the game, for example, when I went to the warp zone for the first time, a little achievement bubble popped up at the top left-hand corner. So if you notice in those screenshots from when I posted, when I beat the game, at the top left-hand corner, there was actually like achievements being unlocked.
Oh, I saw it and I was like, oh, good job, Chivo with this guy. I didn't
even Chivo. So
that you shouldn't see Chivos.
You shouldn't see Chivos, but it's also a fun way to, because of that, you can download RetroArch on your computer, put in your ROMs wherever you get them at, whatever but then you log in with this account information, which is a free account, and it aggregates, and it just like adds achievements to games that never had achievements, from NES to Atari to Sega Genesis to arcade games, MAME, things like
Gives me a reason to go back and play those.
Yeah, it's a game to play those games, knowing that you played them, but then you can also kind of create like a gamer score for these achievements.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's more markers, and then you could go on the list of the website and kind of aggregate and take a look and see them, and then you can also see maybe some hard things, like things in the game that you've never done before. You're like, oh, that would be fun to unlock that achievement because I've never done that in the game.
Nice. All right. What else you got here?
It also uploads your your ROMs rather than Nintendo. Yeah, I mean they know. Did you know that multiple copies of the Virtual Console games on the Wii, Nintendo went and got illegal ROM dumps off the internet to make them?
I had no idea.
So like Nintendo themselves went on the internet and grabbed ROMs and then sold them to you through the Virtual Console.
Yo, dog, I heard you like pirating, so we figured out a way to sell you your pirated items, right? I don't I approve of that, I guess, because it's giving people what they want. But were they DRM? Did they put a media management on it after they ROM'd it?
Of course they did. They then it's their intellectual property, and then they sold it to you, right? So then it's yes. And then they killed the store off, so whatever you bought on the Wii, you can't claim.
Speaking of, let's segue into that, right? I guess the Sony store is officially closing and done for. Is that a couple weeks from now?
Yeah, so that Sony PSN store is officially closed on Monday. A wonderful person that we have talked about on this show before, Modern Vintage Gamer, put up a video about it. He's always more eloquent than I am when it comes down to it. But one of his things is because he's all about preservation and whatnot. He put up a nice video talking about going through the process of actually preserving it. So how to download games off of the store and then take the DRM off of the game so that you can then save them on your own hard drive or whatever the case may be. And then if you ever got another Vita, another device, you can then take those games and put them back on them.
So essentially making the game so that you actually own them because you did actually own them. Right?
Yes.
That's the point. Yeah.
That's the thing. And he talks about that a lot. He says that, hey, you bought these, but the biggest problem is that when you download them for the last time, it then puts that final signature on it, which means that it's now licensed to you. But if ever Sony decides to stop signing those games or turns off the servers in maybe another 5 years, then those games you can't play them anymore. There's nothing to go back and go, hey, I own this game anymore. So by removing that license and allowing the license to just be kind of this infinite license, but you did buy it, you paid them money, it allows you to kind of keep the game, which should be something Sony should be doing anyway. They should be like, hey, we're going to close the store. Why don't we just go ahead and go, hey, the games that you bought, you can download them.
You don't make any money making things away, Joe.
I know.
Come on. Speaking of giving things away, do we want to talk about E3? Do we want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, let's talk about it. So E3 is no longer an event. No longer an event at all, honestly.
Yeah, wait, I think I got the... Oh, come on.
You got this. E3 in general last year, if we're not familiar with it, it was canceled last year after... Look, honestly, E3 was canceled pretty much by January of last year because multiple companies pulled out. We had Nintendo pull out and we had Sony pull out. Both of them last year. And so because of that, and there was some issue with the media company that created the marketing for them. They had some tussle. This was back in February. And then by March, COVID had come about. And then
they didn't bounce back at all. But here they are. Yeah. The electronic taper experience. Make sure to add extra X's in there, right? There's going to be some, it's going to be extreme.
Extreme.
They also doxed half the press. Yeah, we
did.
E3.
Yes. E3 is not my favorite of events. I feel like it has run its course. It is no longer about the fan. It is no longer about the game. It is more about the big company. And what's interesting is the big company is the one that finally killed it. With Sony being one of the big three saying that they're not going to even participate in E3 anymore. That makes it so
they saw a much bigger return on investment going to things like PAX, right?
They saw going to that or creating their own online media events, being able to create their own atmosphere,
setting up really good PowerPoints to really bore their fans.
Well, I mean, I think you and I both would appreciate that short, clean. We're going to 1 hour event, and we're going to tightly edited, tightly scripted event because you get all of that out as opposed to the really cringy going up on stage and getting the developer to talk about his game in a very
To be like, nice T-shirt and suit jacket, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not fool ourselves. Half the show was the big companies. Like you get like EA on there talking about the next FIFA and Madden. Like who are they showing that to? Like people that buy FIFA are going to buy FIFA.
Right.
People that buy Madden are going to buy Madden. So who's it for?
Well, they got to hype up their distribute. No, I have no idea anymore who they're hyping up. So yeah, that was it. Pac-Man 99 was just announced for the Switch. That's an April Fool's joke, right? That's got to be.
No, I didn't even hear that one.
I didn't hear that one either. Is that a Battle Royale Pac-Man game? Because that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Nope, 27 minutes ago. Damn, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. There we go.
News.
And like I said at the beginning of the show, our fans are going to be the ones that we're going to. So I'm guessing this is in the vein of.
We got to tone down the robot.
I'm going to turn him off.
We gotta tone down the robot.
No, you know what? I kind of like him because I don't have to pay attention to him. It's just like, what? But now we know. He yelled. No yelling.
We don't even have rules posted. You never know when you're going to get nuked by the robot. It's just going to arbitrarily appear. No, you're not going to. Like, what have you done?
I wonder if it'll come back at me now. Huh. So, by the way, Mario died this past week.
Oh, that's right. Mario died and Zelda lived, right? That's how we know Easter happened.
That's how Easter happened.
Mario died.
But because of that, Mario 35 died. So I'm guessing that this particular
Pac-Man 99
game, Pac-Man 99, is essentially that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share that because I want to see this trailer.
Is Zelda the green one? Yes, Burger Bean. Zelda's the green one. Are we looking at this? Is that what we're looking at? Is it free?
Battle Royale game, Pac-Man 99. This
Wow.
game is available as a special offer for Nintendo Switch Online members.
Yep, it's basically Tetris.
To win, you'll need to be the
Battle
last
Royale?
man standing.
Oh, I'm all over this.
If ghosts are closing in on you, grab a power pellet to chomp them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do people not know how to play Pac-Man? I don't.
Any ghost you chomp will be sent to attack other players.
Oh,
Pac-Man.
Yes, that's what I like. Jammer
This
Pac-Man.
also works the other way around. Bump into one and your movement speed will drop, so watch out.
Oh no! This is actually really cool, Kendo. I'm with you.
Victory lies in sleeping ghosts. If you chomp these stationary, slumbering specters, they'll multiply and form a ghost train. Grab a power pellet, then get ready for an all-you-can-chomp ghost buffet. By pulling this off, you'll overwhelm opponents with a ghostly nightmare.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, this is like like championship, Pac-Man championship.
Make use of 4 power-ups to gain an advantage, like one that doubles your movement speed.
Doubling my movement speed would not help me at all in Pac-Man. That just means I die twice as fast.
Which targets opponents on the verge of losing the game.
Watching someone eat that many ghosts makes me wonder why there hasn't been a Pac-Man where all you do is eat ghosts. Because this.
Well, I mean, Pac-Man World Championship, Championship Edition does this.
99.
So this is good.
One. Pac-Man 99 launches April 7th as an exclusive offer for Nintendo
So
Switch
tomorrow.
Online members.
Dan's giving it the greatest review ever. I will definitely play this for a day or two. There you go. A day or two, we will definitely play this.
Games and offline modes will also be available at launch.
Dig Dug Pac-Man. I'm
So
okay with that.
they've added some DLC to pay for if you want different skins. All right.
Yeah, of course.
I can get behind that. Burgundy. Sorry, Outriders, but Pac-Man 99 is here. It was a weekend game. It's a weekend. How could it stand against Pac-Man?
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
The voice, coming this summer to play Pac-Man 99.
Is this Robert Rodriguez film? Is that what we're watching here?
I'll take on this one, Pac-Man, along with a very few select other games. Buck
should only be played on.
I don't know, man. Like Pac-Man. I don't have a lot. Like I grew up with Pac-Man at the arcade, but it's not my.
I played it way more on my Atari. Like I played it way more with the joystick.
Way more on my Atari. I played it way more when I got the NES version. I mean, like I get the appeal, but my problem was, I don't know. I just there were better games on the arcade, right? Like I felt like putting my
Centipede is a game you should only play in the arcade. The one with the Tempest is a game you can.
Oh, so anything with a spinner, right?
Yeah, the spinner. Even Star Wars, I think the Star Wars game are arcade.
Yeah, because it had the full on joystick setup.
You mean the super crappy Atari?
Yes, the super Atari. Yeah, the one where the dots were not dots.
What I played. All right, it's what we had. It's what we had.
Mom, can I play Pac-Man? We have Pac-Man at home.
No. But I mean, there was no line. There was no quarters for me to play Pac-Man.
Right. Well, yeah.
Look at all the home version haters.
Yeah, Atari at home was really bad. It wasn't really good until we got the Atari 7800 version or the NES version, which was actually really good.
It's the only version I had. You guys.
Yeah, exactly. Although, I don't know, I can't even call this a hot take, but this is the definitive take: is Miss Pac-Man is better than Pac-Man, right? We can agree with that.
Miss Pac-Man is better than Pac-Man. Yes, of course. Also, the robot Kendo. You're on watch here. No all caps in our. We only enforce all caps.
Apparently, I'm wondering, can someone type in a cuss word for me?
No, don't do it. Sacrifice.
That bot is fast. It totally is. I don't know. It's like sniffing out.
Dan's a real Pac-Man purist there. I kind of love it. I love it.
Yes, I agree. If Miss Pac-Man is set to fast, I agree. 100%. No, yeah, absolutely. Oh man, what are you playing right now? What are you moving on to right now? Now that you finished,
do we not just talk about Outriders? Yeah, no, I don't know that I'm going to beat a game this week because I'm playing Outriders. I'm probably going to finish up Undertale and then Outriders.
I'm going to hop over to. I'm going to load up my my copy of Monster Hunter this week.
Nice.
Sit down and play it. I'm going to get Kendo over here is going to jump on and help me out with some newbie stuff.
Oh, what is Kendo helping you with?
I've never really played much of the Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter on my PSP back in the day.
Oh, all right.
The last one I played, and so things have changed since the PSP version.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. So,
Pergamine's playing the iOS Mistwalker game.
Yes, right. So,
numbers.
If you weren't familiar, so we've talked about Apple Arcade before here on the show, and I know it's kind of weird to say that, Apple gaming, what? But man, there was a huge dump of games this past week with. Oh
my God, Dan's finally got Animal Crossing. Welcome, sir. Jumping in right at the
1 year anniversary.
At the 1 year anniversary, good time to learn. Yeah.
So they added 180 games to Apple Arcade, and if you're not familiar with Apple Arcade is essentially a pay a certain amount a month, kind of like a Game Pass.
Xbox Pass for the
Apple for the iOS. What's nice about the iOS version of this is if you are familiar with any mobile games, you know that a lot of the games have like a lot of DLC, a lot of like pay for move. None of the games on Apple Arcade are allowed to have that.
So yeah, so it's a one and done or a DLC style game.
You download the game and the entire game has to be there. No ads, no buy for time, none of that.
Do you own the game though? No, right?
So once you download it, it's part of your library, and they don't tend to go away. So I haven't had an Apple Arcade game go away.
So Go Astronaut Go is playing Dark Souls for the first time.
That's a tough one.
Going to try 3D Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, no, dude, there's no judgment here. We've all gotten old and had to find time to play games. Dark Souls is a tough one. I did not enjoy it. I know there's a huge community of folks that did. So yeah.
So one of the interesting launches for this 130 games that I played. I know that he said he was playing this Mistwalker game for it, which is also one of the newer launches. But Oregon Trail. So GameLoft released this special version of Oregon Trail for iOS, and it's good. Like
I prefer the Oregon Trail. That's a fun one too.
Okay, think of Fallout Shelter.
In
Oregon Trail.
Okay.
So
are you saying Oregon Trail or Oregon Trail?
No, Oregon.
Oregon.
The state.
Oregon. Not the organs.
Not the organs.
Okay. All right.
Although it's
we're not teasing. I'm just like, what is it?
Oregon.
I didn't say Oregon. Because
didn't you live there?
I did, but I'm from New York City. I don't care.
I say everything
wrong. I say everything wrong.
Y'all call Houston Street Houston. Like that's all wrong.
It's Houston. It's not Houston. It has no relation to the city.
It actually is. It's spelled the exact same way.
Yes, I know. But there's a lot of places that are spelled that some way and it's said differently, right? Stuyvesant makes no sense how we say that. There's a lot of places that.
No, I know. You're right. There's a lot of street names.
It's Houston.
Locally.
It's Houston. Yeah.
In Houston, we've got a street called Kirkendall. No, don't ask how people spell it. Don't ask how to say it. It's pronounced Kirkendall. It's got like a Y.
It's one of those ways you know who's the native, right?
Right.
It's one of those ways you know who's the native. Absolutely.
In Austin, there's a street called Guadalupe, but no one calls it that. It's Guadalupe.
Oh, all right.
And there's another street that is a Native American word. It's Manchaca, but it's Manchac.
All right, there you go. Just say it the way it's spelled is the best way to approach it.
It's weird. Yeah.
Oh man,
what else?
I want to do a segment we so infrequently do, but board games. Can we talk about board games?
Please,
for a second
go
here?
for it.
So I don't know if folks are a fan of this game. I know Joe and I still are. We played it a lot. They're doing a new Kickstarter here, Sentinels of the Multiverse, definitive edition. So first up, like I probably should have saw how much they're making, but they're making good money. I like this Kickstarter because it's very simple, right? They have no stretch goals. They're just like, hey, $60 gets you the game and we're done. They're also acknowledging the fact that some people just 2 years ago bought their full-on omnibus edition. Like I'm one of those people who have every single set in a giant collector case and all that good stuff.
And this contains all of this, right?
No, the one I bought before 2 years ago does. I have all of the first edition stuff in that box.
So what is this?
This is them saying, hey, we put out Sentinels 10 years ago. So we've learned a lot in 10 years from art. You know, it's one artist who did all this art in the first one. He's gotten better. He's got 10 years of practice under his belt.
Yeah, the art looks very good.
They also have like actual graphic designers to design all the icons. Remember, sometimes those cards were hard to read and hard to find stuff. So they're saying, hey, we're going to take all the stuff we've learned in 10 years and create a second edition. They're calling it Definitive Edition, which is a little, but it's basically like, hey, we've done this and we're making it better. We've learned a lot. We want to do more with this. So if you own the original, you know, you can still play that. But if you want the like 10-year improvements, which a lot of us do when it comes to the board gaming community.
Quality of life.
Yeah, the iconography on the game was rough. You know, would love to see them do something a little less finicky than the old version. Absolutely. So that's what they're pitching here, and I'm finding it hard to resist. As I love that game, and it's one that like could be simplified to introduce it to new players and things like that. So that one's out there.
So
also,
my question here is, and again, this is as someone that is a fan, we used to play it all the time.
It's a solid 5-person co-op game to play. It's quick. Once everyone knows how to play, they can play it, right? It's relatively fast across the table. They also worked on that, speeding up the time between turns. This way you're not sitting around waiting as the fifth player every round.
What's the, I guess my question is how much more does this have? Because if this is the definitive edition, I know that a lot of my favorite characters were in the.
If I'm reading it right, and I need to go back and check it again because I haven't checked any of the updates, but it's a definitive edition of the first box set. So all the heroes that were in the box set, the original one, the legacy box set, this has got, and then there's all the promos that they used to do and things like that. So it's pretty neat. I'm excited for it. And you know, Pergamene, I'm excited for them to fix up some of the iconography, smooth out the card art, the back card art, and really get me intrigued by their character design, right? So they said that some cards they went back to and they didn't like the way that card worked. It was one of those cards that it was a dead draw. So they're looking at all those dead draws.
I remember there was a lot of heroes in the game that you would pick up and you were just like, I don't know how to play this guy. This guy really doesn't seem to gel well with other characters.
Yeah, like Sub-Zero was one of those characters no one liked to play until they figured out the game.
For those listening, we're just talking a lot of gibberish here. Sentinels of the Multiverse was it was a creation of a group of friends. They were like, hey, we like DC, we like Marvel, but we don't have the license for any of those characters. So we want to make a heroes game. And we want to make kind of like an Avengers game or a Justice League game where you create you have a villain. You put a villain card out.
We have X-Men at home. Yes,
right.
That's
yes,
exactly
that's
right.
exactly.
So they did the Avengers. They did the Avengers at home.
So you put a villain card out there, and this villain was supposed to be like a giant super villain. Think of like a Doctor Doom, a Magneto, a really big time villain. And, you would need a team to take down that villain. So you would sit down at a table, and 4 or 5 friends would sit down and play, and you'd pick a hero at the very beginning. So cooperatively, you also kind of want to pick your character as the rest of the players would pick. And the characters had a lot of protos. Like there was a Superman style character. There was definitely a Captain America style character. There was a Batman style character. If you like
all the notes.
You like the Archer. You like a speedster. You like the.
You want to play the Hulk? There was a Hulk character.
There was a Hulk character. You like all. And then they also had some fun ones that were like mishmash of characters where, maybe elemental plus, magic or whatever. Anyway, what was great is if you picked like a Batman style character, having a Batman style character, which is very gadget oriented, having someone that could then assist that character with movement
or finding equipment
was always a good way. So
each character had their own deck. So there wasn't a deck building. It was just a cooperative. You had a deck.
Yeah, you'd pull your deck out and you'd play that character. And so sometimes you'd play a character and you'd realize that my character is a team member that wouldn't work with her. And you have to think about that in comic books. That would be like dropping a random, like an occult version character, like maybe like a Swamp Thing or any, if you're familiar with like the Justice League Dark or a Dr. Fate character in the middle of a very action-based fight, like
in a Punisher comic.
In a Punisher comic, the writer could make it work, but honestly, there's 2 environments that don't mishmash. They don't go well, And it was always fun seeing those crossovers, and they did happen. You could do that, but that's what made the game fun, is having these characters try to take down this villain, and sometimes you have the wrong set of heroes to take down certain
villains. So a lot of this strategy was figuring out how to beat each villain faster. The game actually had Chivos built in that you could try to do. But it's 10 years old now. It was right at I don't want to say at the cusp, but kind of at that point where like cooperative games were like booming. Everyone wanted to play a cooperative game or explore how to make cooperative games, programming your game to run as a villain. So they were at the cusp of that. They did great. They've produced other games since.
Right? Yeah, greater than games. One of my favorite things about having this game, though, is when we would pull it out, right? It was a very colorful game. So you'd sit down at a big table at a convention center like PAX. You'd set it up, and if you had like the big edition where you'd have the big villain card, right?
Yeah.
So when you'd go to the cons, you'd buy these special where you'd have the villain card wasn't this big, that you could get like a big like mini poster size card and put it in the middle of the table.
Yep.
And having that out, having all the colorful, everyone would walk by and be like, what are you playing? What are you playing? And then, that's how you'd make friends. People would come up.
Yeah, because we have the 3 players set up and we'd be like, oh, just jump in. Grab
jump a hero.
Play the Flash. It's play Tempest. She's fast.
Yeah.
And we just rock out from there. So it was always, Tempest. Tachyon is the fast
character. Tachyon was the fast character. Yeah.
But it was great. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for that sort of 10-year anniversary. I'm resisting it, but I think I'm going to break down towards the end. There's no stretch goals. There's a part of me that's like, if it's just a $60 game, and it's been so long since I bought a board game, and there's a hopeful feeling in buying a cooperative board game, you can get everyone in the same place again, right? That's the kind of way I want to feel. So I'm excited for that. Also, in other tabletop news, I don't know who follows this. I think this is the 4th year they've done it. American Tabletop Awards. This is kind of the American answer to the Spiel, the German awards that goes out. So they kind of just want the United States has to do it, and they have to do it better and differently, right? So that's the way we like to do it here in America. So four games got nominated. I haven't heard of any of these. This is how far out of the tabletop gaming loop I am. They do like a kid category, a casual category, a medium category, and a heavy category. And the one I want to ask anybody, does anyone own Calico? Because this game looks fun as hell, right? So here's a game where you have to make quilts and you've got cats, and it just seems so smooth and easy. So it's publisher AEG. It won the strategy games category. It's called Calico, and this picture here makes me want to buy this game. Right.
Games like that are so fun. They're good intro games. They're the type of game that you sit down with your kids and they can learn how to play it. Yeah, I'm all about that. They probably, if it's AEG, a lot of AEG games are sold at Target. So I can't imagine Calico.
Yeah, well, 4 to 6 months is part of the problem, right? It's wildly popular. This is probably one of the challenges with board games in general is that once a game gets hot, boom, it's sold out, and then all the cash grubbing nerds buy it and then sell it for exceedingly high since they've got first editions. And then Pergamy mentions Dominations, which I mean I don't know how well you can see the picture of this game, but. This looks like a ridiculous brain burner. Right?
So we have to talk about something.
Looks fantastic.
Again, we don't get to talk about board games as often as we used to on the show, only because we haven't played them as much. But for those newer to the show or that haven't been around since our last big board game talk, one of the things that my partner in crime, Pedro, loves to do, like it's almost like his ASMR, like goosebumpy, is opening up a board game and popping out pieces.
Who doesn't love that?
Sorting them into baggies.
Put them all in the baggies.
So like I love seeing the joy in his face when he buys a new board game at PAX. And like if sometimes we go there, the developers are there, so they've got like, oh, we're also throwing in our like sorter or like our wooden divider or whatever. And sitting there and having him like, ooh, he walks up with his bag, just sits down at the table. Yeah. Pulling off the shirt. Everyone's like, ooh. It's totally great.
Other nerds will gather and watch me do it, right?
It's not a new
game. The convention center jackpot is when you find an unopened, unused game in the renting game section. I've had 2 years where like a game has never even been played, and I'm the first person punching out a shared game, a community game, which is no one's played this, and I've played this. No one's played this shared game before. It's the best. Yeah,
classic. Yes,
hell yeah, and I miss it, and I miss like I don't know, I miss the idea of like punching out a board game and being like, yeah, my friends are coming over in 2 hours, and we're gonna play some board games together. It's gonna be awesome.
last year we cracked open a fresh copy of Fire Tower.
That's right. Yeah.
And being able to like set up Fire Tower and like the nice glowy looky pieces and everyone walking by going, what is that? What is that? I mean, that's such a good feeling. And we talked about it last episode about how we're missing PAX. That's kind of that feeling. It's like,
can everyone just tell how depressed we are? Just like yearning for that community feeling.
The touch.
I miss you all. All I want to do is play board games with all of you. Yeah, like you got those
fresh shades. Man, like pulling out the kicks. You peel the wrapper off, like that smell of like brand new.
Don't even look at them. Don't look at them. Don't look at them. That's good stuff. So Calico looks great. If you find a copy, let me know. I'm in the market for a copy of that.
It's a damn scalpers.
Damn scalpers.
Oh man, they're scalping NVIDIA 380s and Calico copies out there. Oh god, mercy.
380s and Calico copies.
No man, they know what's hot.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Man, good bring up on that. On that, I haven't talked. We need to talk more about the board games. But again, you're right. It's because we haven't played a board game.
It's because we haven't played a board game. I haven't had a reason to like look forward to playing board games in a while. You know, I don't know that I had them that often here. Like we had friends here in Syracuse that were just starting up their own board game night, and I was so thrilled for it. And then COVID sort of shut it all down. So hopefully, you know, once we're all in the right place, we can get back to that. Good stuff.
We did do a stream of Towerfall with Tabletop Simulator one night. That was a pretty good successful stream. We do it again. Get 4 people together and sit down.
Tabletop Simulator is so finicky though.
It can be finicky, but
my friend Galen's games. He's got a game out there. He's got a bunch that he's always play testing and playing it on there. Like I like play testing with him. I enjoy playing the games. Tabletop Simulator does not. You know what it does? It makes that itch worse for me. Like I play it and all I want to do is play a real physical.
It's like when you got an itch in the center of your back and then someone scratches next to it and you're like, you're so close.
You're not quite there.
No, just.
No, it's not the same. It's like digital die rollers. They're not the same. They're not the same.
They're not the same. I get it. Oh man. What else? What else is new? What else is new? It's been we had a discussion on the group today. Adam posted the story, and this is more techie on the side of things, but I definitely wanted to talk about it and kind of get a consensus to the viewers here.
Our fans.
Of our fans. LG is shuttering their cell phone.
Oh, all right.
Division, and I thought that was interesting. I didn't think about it as a big deal until later, right? I was talking with friends, and I was watching a couple of I was reading some news articles, and they were saying that it's a big loss for smartphones in general. LG and MKBHD put up a nice video talking about it, how they were the first to do a lot of things that other cell phone manufacturers hadn't done yet, and when they did it, other people followed suit the following year. We always talk about this competition in a market is always good for innovation. And when you start cutting out companies that have the innovative side of things, you start losing innovation all around.
I mean, we're already there. Every year they release the same phone, Joe.
Yeah. Every year it's a slab of glass. And
I'm old enough to remember where every year it was a different style cell phone, right? You had the brick, you had the fold, you had the flips, you had all sorts of new innovations. Remember when the Razr came out and everyone's mind like exploded at the idea of that Razr phone? So not surprisingly, over the past 5 years or so, that there are two players in the cell phone market.
So I mean, we can't not talk about it, right? It's Apple and Samsung. When you talk about Android, and what's different is, at least with Android, it's Android, which is Samsung, but then you still have other flavors of Android. With Apple, it's always been Apple, right?
Yep.
So the market for Apple to innovate, Android needs to be exciting. Let's be honest here. This is coming from someone that's exclusive to Apple. When I see Android do something exciting, I'm excited for Apple in the long run
to steal it.
Well, I mean, not only steal it, make it better.
Be inspired,
make it usable. I mean, again, we've talked about this before, but a good example to this would be Android phones had the NFC payment for years.
Yep.
But Google didn't know how to market it. They called it their Google Wallet for a while. They didn't really partner with banks or anything. They were just kind of left it to like the fans and whoever else to do something with it. It wasn't until Apple talked to banks, then talked to like retailers to put the damn sticker up when you check out for Apple Pay, that NFC payments became a thing. And then Apple Pay had to Google Wallet changed their name to Google Pay. Like they renamed themselves, and Samsung was like, I want to get on this. And they then divided the market by making another version of an Android payment method by Samsung Pay on an Android phone. It's like, it's just, again, something like that is exciting. I mean, we've got a monopoly, and this is our own fault. I guess it's our own fault. So again,
also the fault of our suppliers, right? It's easier for them to logistically create the same kind of thing over and over again than create multiple kinds of things, right? So
I mean, LG was making some exciting stuff. They
have weird looking phones.
They had weird looking phones. They had some phones that like dual screen phones. They were one of the first phones that had certain resolutions, and it wasn't until they doing that the next year we got that. They were one of the first phones to add multiple cameras on the back. They were one of the still waiting for guards. Right, exactly.
I can pay with my watch. This is a real thing.
You're absolutely right. See, that's what I'm saying.
Isn't Garmin just like GPS? Do they actually have
but they have to compete with Apple Watch, and as a wearable, they're like, well, we want people to use our device. It's supposed to take it off and go get an Apple Watch. So then let's add payment, but then it's not supported by anybody. So like that's the thing, right? LG had these ideas, like, but no one supported their ideas. One year they made a phone where it had modules, right? So the entire bottom of the phone would slide out. You'd slide in camera modules and all sorts of extra.
So you had like a bag of bits. You could
right. So it was supposed to be like a phone, but then like the modularity of it was like, oh, you want a phone with a bigger camera? You can spend on the camera module, and that way you would have a really fast phone, but a better camera. Or let's say you wanted an extended battery, or you wanted a projector on your phone, or you wanted, I don't know, some weird add-on. You could just slide it into your phone. It was cool, but at the same time, it wasn't.
Yeah. And also, like, that's a befuddling. Why don't I just get a phone that does everything and looks good? And look at me, I have an Apple.
And MKBHD said it best. LG was the king of jack of all trades, master of none. They threw things against the wall, saw if it stuck. I mean, was it the newest phone, their G9 or whatever? One of their newest features, he talks about it in the video, was a vein reading. It read the veins in your hands for like gestures or whatever. It's so silly. But he talks about going to these press events with hundreds of other YouTubers and tech journalists trying to get this thing to work. So they're all like this like room full of people using this phone and going. And also like the LG reps going, no, move your hand this way. And they're trying to get it to work. And them not able. It's like, dude, that doesn't speak well for your product when you have a whole room of people trying to get it to work and they can't get it to work.
And they want it to work.
They want it to work. But this is your press day. And now you've got all the press and all the YouTubers. The first thing they went to was like, they added this stupid
It's like the
thing.
blue screen of death at your Windows.
Right. Only it wasn't isolated to one. It was all the phones doing it. And they all can't get it to work.
Yep. And Pergamine says it's because of the monopoly, also the friction. Everyone's phones are so much integrated into their lives that they used to. Yeah. Nobody wants a phone they have to learn when they upgrade. You're totally right, Pergamine.
Right. And we also talked about this. I had a conversation with someone earlier today talking about this just in chat back and forth. I think I don't know about you, but as a smartphone user, this will be, I've had a smart smartphone since about 08, 09, right? Like,
is that when the one came out?
Well, like the first or second generation iPhone, etc.
Yeah,
Even before that, I had a Windows Mobile phone at one point with a full keyboard and whatnot. But when we're talking about tablet style phones, whatever, this is my first ecosystem phone. I have been on this ecosystem for over 10 years now. What are the odds of me actually switching to another ecosystem? We need to stop trying to get people to switch. It's very obvious that most people won't, because they've got all their pictures on Google Photos. They've already invested hundreds of dollars into apps.
I think that's what I had.
Yeah.
I had that one for a very long time.
Thor's hammer of a phone. It just
still has battery life.
I don't see people switching ecosystems anymore. So I think we're getting to that point where crossplay is going to start happening.
Yeah,
we already get it with applications, right? Like you sign in on your Android phone on Messenger, and I sign in on Messenger on my iPhone. You don't know
everything. I don't have to worry about it. My contacts get saved.
Right. And I think we're getting everyone's refining. Everyone complains that there's no innovation. All the phones look the same. The problem is, honestly, what more do you want on a phone? And LG kept pushing it, but no one adopted. So like,
what more do I want from my phone?
Like, let's talk about that here. And everyone in chat, please tell me, what is an item on your phone that you would want? Like right now, the phone you have in your pocket is pretty good. What is the option? What thing you want?
I don't think everyone complains. I think it's just bored tech people who complain. Hello, you're on our show, Pergamine. What the hell? Like, this is what we do here. Cautious has liked the message. Cool, man. I hate that as an Android user. What does it come as an error for you?
Right. So if you're in a group chat with an iOS person and someone hard taps and likes that message and puts a little heart or the exclamation, on an Android user, it sends them another message going, so and so liked that message.
I know, because I like to torture my Android friends. It's like free trolling.
That's true. That's so true.
You're going to show up to this group text with your green text? Come on, man. I'm going to ha-ha you every time.
Yeah, okay. So that's something that we've talked about here with Game Pass and xCloud and all of that phone that gives you that option. That's totally it. I think we've come to the conclusion that cloud gaming shouldn't be a singular service. It should be an add-on service for other things.
Yes.
For Xbox, for PSN, for GeForce Now, as a good example, is games that you already own on Steam should then show up in your library on this service, and then you play them. Stadia doesn't work because I don't want to pay $60 for another copy of a game that I can't play anywhere else. Except
I want to play it across all my systems. You know what I want? You know how in The Expanse they're able to just shoot things from their phone over to televisions? That's what I would like. I would like.
We're close with iOS.
We're close. We're not quite
close with Android with Chromecast, but it's not a singular like.
It's not like as easy as I want it to be.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to be like watching HBO Max. Throw it up on the big screen so I can watch it up there. Bring it back if I don't want to watch it anymore. Things like that. I don't know what I want until somebody comes out with this 6 months, a year. Yeah, innovation is probably
right.
as a
I mean,
consumer.
that's the joke, right? Because consumers don't know what they want until we give it to them, and then once we give it to them, they can't live without it, right? That's
Adam wants 5G, actual 5G. I can't video chat on hype. Is that?
And again,
isn't that how we got COVID though? Is the 5G?
That's exactly right. That's exactly how we got COVID. I don't know what.
Eric Perkeby made the joke before me. They're just gonna get
dude. My phone switched to 5G right after I got my second vaccine. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it said 5G at the top.
I'm 3 weeks away then, right? I got mine yesterday, so I'm good to go.
Wait, Dan, are you serious? Can you play Stadia on Xbox now? Is there a Stadia app that you can download on the Xbox?
Yeah, my arm is killing me today, so I'm expecting
that's the 5G starting to work. By the way, that's all
that's all the bandwidth.
That's all that bandwidth.
Got to get those gains on the bandwidth. Johnson & Johnson, good for you. It's still
so you got the single. See, that's 4G LTE. That's like rebranded 5G. I'm just saying.
For rookies. That's rookies. One shot, get those numbers up, buddy.
Oh god. So the beta version of Xbox has Edge and can play. Oh, okay, that's right. So you can get the Edge. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about doing it that way. Interesting.
But is it any good? Like, aren't you just playing your Xbox games through the Edge on your Xbox? Why wouldn't you just
Rolls? So that's interesting. That never happened, by the way. I worked at Big Apple at that point. The subsidized phone thing, that was always a lie, sir. While you were paying $200 for a phone and signing a contract, your bill was higher to pay for that phone. It was all a scam. Like, you're paying the same amount now. There was never a free $200. There was never an iPhone for $200. That $199 iPhone crap that you used to get back in the day, and all of a sudden they're like $600. What happened? No. I mean, it was all there. You were paying for it. There was ways to pay for it.
I feel like I'm still paying for it, but it's fine. Cautious, if you worked at Jurassic Park, everything would have been. Good stories about that.
I know it was a lie, but it made me feel better. Fair enough.
Shake my fist at the phone.
Stupid bot.
Yeah, no, I think that guy hit twice today with the bot. We're going to have to tune the stream. We'll keep it that way. Maybe we'll give it words that we don't want to hear, right?
I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, but also I kind of like, you know what? Maybe I should change what it says when it yells, like "Stop yelling."
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it can be politer. Please check your caps button. It appears to be broken. We'll make it nicer. We'll make it nicer. All right, so another week ahead of us. What do you got on deck? Going to play some Outriders with me? You're going to wake up on Sunday and actually?
I am going to play some Outriders. I'm excited for it. I like I said, I was out of town when it came out. I went on my app and hit download, and I downloaded it to my Xbox so that I could have it ready to go. Even though I know that there's probably a patch or two already.
On Outriders?
Yes,
it's online, so there won't be a patch really. You just have to log in. At least it will. I've been playing for the past 5 or 6 days. I haven't had to download.
Has anyone in chat played or seen anything good about It Takes Two? The co-op game.
I have not played that.
So
I heard good stuff about it though.
So if you didn't know, if I buy the game, I get a copy of the game, like a moduled version of the game that I can then give to another player to play with me.
Oh, okay. All right. So
you end up, so let's say I bought it, I can give you a copy of the game that you can play with me to download. Like, you could only play it with me, but the idea is it's a second copy of the game for the second player, which is kind of an innovative idea, and the game's only like $39.99.
I love it. Yeah, so let's do it. What the hell? Let's play It Takes Two.
Yeah, so it sounds like a good idea. I heard it was good stuff. I wanted to know if anyone had been playing it. Looks like it came out, but because it's not on any of it didn't come out on Game Pass or anything like that, it's not being talked about a lot. But I want people to play these story-driven co-op games, and if you haven't heard anything, please go check it out. It Takes Two had a great. Is it on Amico? Oh boy.
Yeah, I've only heard great things about it, so let's give it a whirl. I'll check the price and give it a whirl. Although it's either Sentinels or It Takes Two, I have to figure out where the money's going to come from.
I'm literally going to hit pledge.
No, I can't. If I get the notification that you pledge for it, I'm going to do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Enjoy. I'd be thrilled if someone has it in the family.
Oh man.
All right. That's it. Now we're at the end of it. I assume it stars the Olsen twins and Christy Alley. Now we are totally officially old jokes, and I love it. Pergamene, good job. He's doing it right now. I know he's doing it right now because it's so easy on the Kickstarter app.
It's so easy.
Go out there and check it out. It's Sentinel. If you don't own Sentinels already, this seems like a good way to get into it. If you like superheroes and you like cooperative games and you like decks and refining decks, not refining decks, playing different style of decks, card games, you're really gonna like this game.
Yep.
Let's close it out. Episode 120.
Episode 120, man. It's I'm excited for it. I can't believe we're at 120.
Yeah, next week's 121. It's awesome. We're just marching along. Thanks everyone for jumping on. Pergamene, Kendo, Dan, Adam. I'm sure I'm forgetting some folks. All the folks that jumped on the beginning to celebrate Easter with us. I appreciate you. Rolls. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate
awesome,
it. Episode. I should end it right. I should end it right.
Like, subscribe, follow,
share. Our job is still cheating. Capitalism, baby. It totally.
Let us know what games you're playing and you're beating on the Facebooks. Thanks for the people who are posting up there. Always love to see your posts. So give us some content and be kind, everyone.
Be kind, everyone. Take care. Love you. Episode 120 in the can.
Be kind, folks.